first and foremost, let's start with my songs of the week, okay? Because I forget to do this every week, so I need to put you guys on now before you're too bored at the end. And if you get bored listening to this podcast, you need to get fucking brain checked. Because I don't even know when I start it, where it's going to go. And I'm always astounded where it ends up. So just, get that together. Okay, guys, if you're bored listening to this, I don't know what to tell you. First song of the week, Cold Hard Steel and Sand by Braxton Keith. Now, what do y'all know about Braxton Keith? He's a new little boy on the scene. Not little boy. So why did I say little boy? He's a new young gentleman on the scene. He's a country singer. He's from Texas. And he can't be more than 22, 23. Like, he is so young. And he came out with this song. And I'll be honest, it's not like the rest of his discography, which I was kind of like, damn. Like, this is kind of a standout song. I'm bopping it every day. This song is so good. And I did DM him. I did DM him and say, when are you coming to Los Angeles, California? And he said, I don't know if people know who I am out there. And I said, well, I do shit. I do. Come on over. Literally come over. Come on, y'all. Next song is Kentucky Rain by Elvis. Of course. Kentucky Rain by Elvis, of course. Like, of course. I love this song. This song is so good. Kentucky Rain is one of like my top 5 Elvis songs of all time. It's up there with Love Me, Trouble, If I Can Dream, obviously. It's now or never. Hold me, kiss me, my darling, and be mine tonight. Tomorrow will seem to say, it's now or never. That song is so good too. Okay, It's Now or Never is in my top 5 too. Okay, now I guess we have to talk about it because y'all have been waiting long enough. And I have a preliminary opinion, okay? And of course, I'm about to be talking about Hozier. So strap in and strap on, team, because we're talking about Hozier. First Light is one of the best songs I've ever heard, maybe. Abstract Psychopump is my favorite song on the album. And I'll talk about it in detail. Give me a few minutes here. These 2 songs have been simply on repeat. I've listened to the album all the way through probably like 3-4 times. I really like, of course, as a body of work, conceptually, lyrically, sonically, it's okay, well, this is actually, maybe I'm asking this question more so. Do y'all think it's his magnum opus? And magnum opus, for those that don't know what that means, is like his greatest work of all. Magnum opus meaning a large and important work of art, music, or literature, especially one regarded as the most important work of an artist or writer. I don't think that this is his magnum opus. I think that, honestly, Wasteland Baby might be. But I'm still getting used to Unreal Unearthed because there are some people are already drawing similarities of like, this song is the, track 3 of Wasteland Baby. Like there's comparisons both sonically and also kind of the role that the song plays in the album track list, like how it's kind of either a transition from one song to another, or they've flow into each other, or one's kind of a high point and one's like a really slow ballad. And I'm kind of drawing those comparisons too, but I don't know. It's taking me a second because all of the singles he released, Eat Your Young, All Things End, Francesca, all of them were so good. And then I kept being like, how the fuck is he going to top this? Unknown, Nth, obviously it's up there. Abstract, up there. Just Tell Me Part 2, up there. Just Tell Me Part 1, up there. I mean, the whole album is so good. But I think I have such a spiritual and it's not even nostalgia. It's like a personal connection to Wasteland Baby that I'm having a hard time moving on from it. Maybe that's what it is. Like, I'm having a hard time not letting it go, but letting it be its own body of work and not like my favorite Hozier album. So anyway, I talked about Abstract, which is it's this track list. So it's this song, Abstract Psychopomp, okay? And now when I first read this, I was like, why does that sound familiar? I've heard this term before. I've heard the term psychopomp before. And I was like, I know that it has something to do with travel. It has something to do with travel. And so I Googled it and I did some research, and I'm so fucking smart, bitch. I am so smart. A psychopomp is a almost spirit guide that leads a spirit or a person or an animal or anything from one phase of life into another, most usually from life to death. And Hozier tells the story of kind of the inspiration for this song was, as a child, he saw an animal dying in the road, like it got hit by a car or it was dying. And someone pulled over, just a stranger, and went to comfort the animal and try to help the animal kind of in its last moments. And for some reason that really stuck with him as a child. And so this idea of that human was that animal's psychopomp in that moment, kind of there to hold the hand, metaphorically, of the spirit that is about to start its transition from one phase of life into potentially the afterlife or wherever we go. And I think lyrically and conceptually, it is so smart because he's describing this experience that he lived through of watching that, of how in the end, that sort of empathy and compassion, that creature is dying. You know, it won't remember it. It won't remember that last act of compassion or just, I am here with you as you go from this point A to point B. But what a human thing and what a beautiful thing. And Hozier, therefore, in writing this, is sort of acting as our spirit guide, our hand that we're holding through the album track list, I think, or through life. Because I think for a lot of Hozier fans, there's kind of this comparison of the first, second, and third album. The first album is kind of airy. The second album is water. And then the third album is earth. And so also fire. Wait, how does fire go into it? Hold on, I have to look up the track list for self-titled. Yeah, In the Woods Somewhere, Run, Sedated, To Be Alone. All these songs are so good. Yeah, there's kind of this like travel through the elements sort of thing going on. And we've landed from Wasteland Baby, even the album cover was underwater, and it has to do with, you know, movement and sunlight and how water refracts sunlight and all of these things. And now with Unreal on Earth, with even the album cover, we're in the dirt. We're underground. We died, right? Or we're reflecting on what happens after that second album. And of course, what I've talked about before is the album is inspired by Dante's Inferno, and that episode where I got high and I did the 9 Circles of Hell. If you haven't watched that, go watch that one. That was a fun little, I don't remember anything, by the way. But that was the inspiration for this album, is post-death, those 9 Circles of Hell and what each layer is reserved for, where Hozier maybe is taking us. Like, why are we going through all 9 of them, you know? But with Abstract, let's look up the lyrics, because y'all know I love this shit. The speed that you moved, okay, wait. Here are the lyrics for Abstract. Some of the lyrics. The speed that you moved, the screech of the cars, the creature still moving that slowed in your arms, the fear in its eyes gone out in an instant, your tear caught the light, the earth from a distance. Just gotta chill. Just gotta chill. My leg hair just stood up. See how it shines. See how it shines. And so a lot of this is like, obviously it's up to the listener's interpretation. See how it shines. Is that sort of the wetness of the dying animal on the road? Is it the rain that they're caught in while all this is happening? See how it shines. Is it the tear on the stranger's face, mourning the loss of this life that they tried to save, but inevitably we can't save each other. Everyone has to die eventually. But I think the humanness of it is we're going to try, because to exist all together and to enjoy each other's company, even acknowledging how precious this fleeting life is, even just the motion of trying to comfort this creature. Oh my God. So see how it shines. Is it human nature shining? See how it shines. Is this the spirit guide shining? Is there a light being emitted from the spirit guide, or is there a light being emitted from the creature as it passes from one realm to another? I just have chills. I love Hozier. There's so many ways that you could take this. Sometimes there's a thought like you choose what you're doing, but it comes to naught when I look back through it. I remember the view, streetlights and the dark blue, the moment I knew I had no choice but to love you. Like, fuck you. The memory hurts, but does me no harm. The memory hurts, but does me no harm. Your hand in my pocket to keep us both warm. The poor thing in the road, its eyes still glistening. The cold wet of your nose, the earth from a distance. See how it shines. I love him! The fuck? Now we're going to look up Unknown's lyrics. Because he is sick. He's sick. Funny how true colors shine in darkness and in secrecy. If there were scarlet flags, they washed out in the mind of me. Where a blinding light shone on you every night, and either side of my sleep, where you were held frozen like an angel to me. Fuck you! Fuck you! That's not real. He's not real. I've seen so many interviews where people are like, you were written by a woman. Like, you're the female gaze, you're whatever. And he's like, am I? I don't know. You're a sick fuck. You're a sicko. I love him so much. He needs to be locked away for a very long time.
You need to be locked in prison for a very long time. You need the internet taken away from you. You are a danger to society.
That's me to Hozier. When he comes on Mark Zuckerberg's internet, starts posting all this sappy bullshit, get it off. I'm not interested. Not interested. Boo! I love him.